This is the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7. You're here with Lucy.
And Mel again.
And it's the dream team after we got our nice little shout out last week.
Yeah.
From Launch Mooney, which is always nice.
Yeah, you know, just all the listeners.
Just a bit of encouragement for us on our
for our
into sports radio.
Yes. It's always nice to know that at least one person's listening. So thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you, Lawrence.
But yeah, we're back here for another all-girl edition of Wednesday's Politics on the Sports Desk.
We are, and we're going to be joined by a very special guest later in the show in the lead up to the huge AFLW State of Origin game on Saturday. If you've seen our social media, you will know who it is. But we're not going to tell you now. But I will tell you that she plays for the Demons, was a Rising Star nomination, and now also plays for Geelong in the VFLW.
Yeah, cool. So you've left that wide open, Lucy. No idea who that is.
You should be able to pick who that is. If you know anything about AFLW, it should be pretty clear. But you know.
Now looking forward to that. You've been counting down the days to this State of Origin match, so I keen.
Really have.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
The smile on your face is huge. So keen to talk to her later. That'll be really good.
It'll be really good. But we're going to open up with the US Open. It started this week, and we've got some good news in terms of the Australians that are rotating through their games at the moment. And we had all of the girls win their first round matches.
Yep. Correct. So who'd we have? Rodionova, Destiny Ayeva and Ash Barty?
Yes. All
progressed through to the second round, which is awesome. And that's a really good effort by a lot of them, particularly Destiny. She is a really young up-and-comer. I think she's about 17, 18.
Oh,
so
wow, huge.
That's really big for her. And obviously Daria Gavrilova is still yet to play, but she's been gifted a good-looking draw, so it looks like she should win through. But then obviously we're without Sam Stosur at the moment through injury. But so nice to see Aussie women's tennis thriving.
Yeah, for sure.
For
nice.
so long we only had kind of Sam Stosur, and then we've had Gavrilova kind of, pulling her weight. But it's nice to have a squad of girls come through to the second round.
Hashtag girl squad.
Hashtag girl squad indeed.
Through for the Aussies. But no, that is really exciting because you'd kind of go into these majors being like, oh, hopefully Sam Stosur wins.
Yeah, like who have we got?
And like that's kind of it. So it's good to see that we have a good 2 or 3, 4 girls now who, we can root for the entire thing.
And like Rodionova is older, but Destiny, Barty, these girls are young, so that's really exciting too.
But Rodionova, I read an article about her, and the interesting thing about her is she's like 27, I think, but the average age of the women in the top sort of 15 is 26.1 or something like that. So she really, you could consider her prime time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no,
which
for sure.
Which is very exciting that she's gotten this chance sort of later on in her career.
Yeah, she is someone that's battled hard and pushed through hard and had to qualify for so many years for big tournaments. So it's really nice to see her reaping some rewards lately.
Oh, yeah,
she's been playing some scintillating tennis. So,
scintillating.
Yeah, thank you. So, that's really exciting. But over on the men's draw, all the things, Lucy.
Oh, all the things.
All the things.
We have like the men's draw. It's like good news and bad news, and then some like annoying news.
So
I feel like annoying. We should start off by saying is we were gonna like come into the show this morning and be like, Kyrgios, what a guy! Like he had to defeat a fellow Australian, but at least he's
through and we're on.
Yeah, exactly. We're running this form, but unfortunately his game has been postponed until tomorrow because it started to rain in Flushing Meadows.
Yes.
You could say that the games have been flushed.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to accept that one. Thanks, though. Terrible pun. So we've got to wait a little longer for Kyrgios. But my boy, Jordan Thompson.
You do love Jordan, don't you?
I get around just essentially the entire Australian Davis Cup team, and he has had a huge win. You couldn't really have a bigger win. He has beaten world number 13, Jack Sock, in an epic 5-setter. He was down in the 5th set as well, and he's just got so much grit, Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, he does.
So to beat Jack Sock, who is America's,
he's their
sole hope at the
exactly.
moment, on home turf. Like, that is just remarkable. So
It's huge.
big ups to Jordan Thompson. He's got a lot of heart. He's that classic Aussie underdog fighter. And just goes about his business, really no fuss.
I do like that.
Yeah, he's an Aussie tennis player that I think we can all get around. Everyone can like Jordan Thompson.
Yeah.
Tanasi Kokonakis, such
That was
a
sad.
shame. He's lost out in a 5-setter, but a really remarkable performance again, and that's on his kind of return from injury. His injuries just continue to linger, but he'd been in some really good form again.
Yeah.
And looked really promising, but unfortunately, no.
No, yeah.
That's it.
Dennis
But
Kokonakis.
really good signs, and he was really close, and
Yeah.
he'll be really happy with that effort.
And, you know, it's really good that we have these guys playing, like, showing some really good form, Thompson and Kokonakis, despite that he lost, because it seems that they are the future of men's tennis, considering Bernard Tomic.
You know where I am at on
Yeah.
this, and I just cannot believe this. So it'll come as a shock to no one
yeah.
that Bernard Tomic has lost his first round match. Can you remember off the top of your head who it was against? But I remember it was a tough match.
Yeah, it was.
Who
It was
it?
tough. I think
Was it Gilles Muller?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and so that is a tough match. But he lost in straight
sets,
Yeah, 6-3s, 6-4s type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So he's dropped out to like 170,
Yeah, 40. Oh, yeah, sure.
76th in the world. So he has very much an uphill battle to try and qualify even for the Australian Open now.
Correct. So as it pretty much stands at the moment, if this continues as it has for the past 12 months, he would need a wild card to get into the Australian Open.
Yeah.
And Tennis Australia have hinted already that they'd be incredibly reluctant to gift him a wild card, despite him being an Australian, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Because he has distanced himself from representing the country in any form. So he no longer represents Australia at the Olympics or the Davis Cup. Yeah. He has said no thank you to all of those. So rightfully so, I think. And you'd think Tennis Australia have said, we're not going to help you.
And if you were giving up those opportunities to represent Australia in the Olympics and the Davis Cup to work on your own tennis in a way where it was like, I'm going to try and win a major tournament.
Yep.
That's my aim. I'm not going to represent Australia for these reasons.
Yep.
But then to go out and be so sort of, I don't know, like uppity about not representing Australia and then just show this kind of form when you're in the majors and do what he did at Wimbledon as well and not back it up, I'd be the same as Tennis Australia. I'd be like, we want to give our wild card to someone who deserves it and someone who's actually going to fight for it.
Yeah.
Which...
Like these young guys like Alex de Minaur, who did awesome in Wimbledon. Jordan Thompson doesn't need one anymore, but he's the type that we've been giving them to over the years. And that's exactly what I want to see. These young guys that are thriving off this opportunity and are going to, work their bums off to try and secure a spot rather than an old mate. Yeah. No,
who just
I'm
lets
done
us
with
down
him.
time and time again.
Yeah.
So I feel like we might not be seeing Tomic for a while.
Well, it's going to be interesting what he does from here because we're really at that crisis stage of like if you don't actually sort yourself out and have a crack, you're not going to make the Australian Open.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what do you like? If that's what you want, then that's fine. We don't care. But like, sort yourself out.
Yeah, sort it out. And so for Australians, that Tomic's kind of result, I think, was like one of the biggest things that's happened just in terms of like cementing the fact that he's not quite who we hoped he would be, I would say.
It's just
and we wanted him to back up the Wimbledon non-performance with something to make us believe in him again, but he hasn't.
It's just like, oh, wake up, oh, what's this news? Oh, Tomic's... And it wasn't even like 7-6 games. Like, fair enough, Gilles Muller, that is a tough game. But it just still had that 6-3 vibe about it, like all of his games do these days. So, yeah, no, not a lot of love lost between me and him.
No, definitely not. And a sort of like a scandal, I would say that it is, that we've covered quite a bit, is obviously the Maria Sharapova whole kind of thing.
Yep.
But she's made her like actual return to tennis, I would say. So she played a few sort of qualifying tournaments the last few months, but she's made an actual return to tennis in the US Open main court, playing the Simona Halep, number 1 seed, number 2 seed.
Should be up there.
Yeah. I think she was number 2 seed, who Simona Halep was also one of those players who was very vocally critical of Maria Sharapova returning to the world circuit.
Yep.
And no surprises, I would say, Sharapova's managed to win.
I disagree with you there. I think it is a bit surprising.
Well, I think Sharapova is one of those players where it's like she just has so much that she's just like, I want to win this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to prove myself, and I'm gonna win it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Jeannie Bouchard when she beat Sharapova. That's how Sharapova felt coming into this. But amazingly for Sharapova, this makes her record on main court US Open 18-0.
Yeah, I saw that. Phenomenal. That's
which
ridiculous.
Is pretty amazing.
Yeah. But no, I see what you're saying there. She does have this crazy determination that is just, beyond belief. But I thought, for starters, like, what are the odds of the draw giving us that in a round one? Like, that was huge. That could have been a final. Like,
yeah, it could have. Yeah, exactly.
So that was awesome in itself.
And you would have thought it was a final by the way that Sharapova reacted when she won.
Correct.
The full sinking to the
and you don't blame her. Like, she needed to do this. And for a while there, it looked like Halep was going to beat her. I thought, well, going into that third set, Halep had won the last 5 games to take the second. So she was on a roll. So it looked like she could lose. And Sharapova losing in the first round, despite it being against an amazing opponent, as we kind of said last time. She needs to go deep into this to really cement that she is back.
Yeah, and that she sort of deserves to be here.
Yeah.
I think she's got a lot of sort of...
To let the tennis do the talking again.
Yeah, exactly. Let the tennis do the talking.
But it's not entirely doing the talking at the moment. Wouldn't you know, there's controversy surrounding it. She's been accused of gamesmanship for taking a toilet break.
After Halep had won those
After Halep had
games.
got on a roll, won 5 games in a row to take the second set, had all the momentum going into the third. Sharapova's said, excuse me, I need to pee. Gone to the toilet for, 6 or 8 minutes or something?
6 minutes,
Which is allowed, and that's fine. As we've all said, nature calls. But, gee, that's convenient.
Yeah, isn't it?
And fair enough, it helped her. Like, it stopped Halep's run. What I find most interesting about this situation is Halep's response. And they said, did this throw you? What, blah, blah, blah. She just goes, she does it all the time. I'm used to it. And
yeah,
I just reckon that is the best response.
Yeah.
Just so passive-aggressive. So, like, that's Maria.
That's Sharapova.
Yep.
I think my closing statement on this, for this US Open update, is the most cringeworthy thing that Sharapova said.
I know what you're going to say.
At the end, when she was doing her post-match, interview on the court. And what did she say? It was something like, there's just this girl behind this all black and the Swarovski crystals who just wants to play tennis.
Yes.
And I was like, did you write that down before you played? So you would, because she's standing there with written on her hand, just looking down into the microphone while she says it. I was like, oh.
I think just before we wrap this up, I thought the same thing. From a PR perspective, when you're trying to win us all back, she's standing there in this custom black Nike jacket that's embellished with Swarovski crystals. From a PR perspective, you're trying to win us back and trying to convince us to be your friends again. You just lost us all by being so unrelatable.
I was like, because that's me every time I go out on the tennis court.
Me and my Swarovski blah, blah, blah.
Embellished jacket. Just what a time.
As soon as she said that, I was like, you idiot, you've lost us all.
Yeah.
So, no, that was ridiculous. But again, she does it all the time. I don't expect nothing less. No, but good on her. That was a really big win. That'll do wonders for her confidence. So it's going to be really interesting now to see how deep she can go into
the US Open.
Yep.
That is good. That is true.
And we'll keep an eye on Kyrgios because that excites me as well.
Yeah.
And Jordan Thompson.
Yeah.
So good luck to all the Aussies. It's nice to be able to say we've got all the Aussies.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got quite a few.
We've got some good talent heading into this US Open. So that's really exciting. But when we come back, it's kind of on a knife's edge for Australia in Bangladesh. They're going into the 4th day today, so we're going to catch up with all of that sort of troubles over there on the subcontinent when we come back from this song. And this is Heaps Good Friends with Olympic Sneakers. This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. You're here with Lucy and Mel.
Yep.
Just given a pretty good recap of the US Open and all the action that's happening. And now we're heading over to Bangladesh, where Australia have made their comeback from, their, what would you say? Just the never-ending pay dispute that happened.
The never-ending pay dispute
That's happened. And it's been a shaky return for the Aussies. They had Bangladesh batted first, and they put on quite a few runs, put on 260, which is a pretty hard chase over there in the subcontinent. Just solid. We had Nathan Lyon equal legendary Richie Benaud's record for wickets. So that was exciting.
Cool.
But, our pacemen, didn't really fire. Josh Hazlewood, no wickets. Pat Cummins got 3 with a, pretty good economy. But it was, once again, Australia's batting that let them down. Dave Warder out on 8, Usman Khawaja out on 1, Nathan Lyon, the night watchman, came in at 4, went out for a duck, so couldn't even see out the ending session on day 2.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Day 1, sorry. And then Stephen Smith went out for 8. So not a very good start for the Aussies.
Bangladesh would have been bloody happy with that.
But Bangladesh would be, as you just said, very, very pleased with themselves. So it sort of turned out to be more of a challenge than what I think Australia anticipated.
I agree.
I think they thought that they were going to go in, it was going to be tough. Everyone's a bit rusty, haven't played much cricket for the last 6 months. But it's Bangladesh.
Yep, 100%.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, Bangladesh in the history of their sort of cricket have played 100 tests, and they've only won 9 of those tests. So with a record like that, even if you haven't played much cricket for 6 months, you'd be like, yeah, we'll be right.
We should. The odds are heavily stacked in our favour there.
Yeah. But it turns out they're a bit plucky, Bangladesh. One of their all-rounders picked up 5 wickets for 68 runs in the first innings against Australia, so was instrumental in that first order collapse. Bangladesh have gone on into the second innings and now have had a lead of 260 runs. Mm-hmm. So it's a tough fight back for the Aussies to come back for something like that. And what was not helped is that we were 2 for not even 30 last night when Australia went into bat. We lost Matt Renshaw early and we lost Usman Khawaja early as well. But luckily, David Warner has the look of a man on a mission on his face.
I like it when he has that look.
Don't you? And he finished the day last night on 55 and Steve Smith was on 23. So they've got a partnership of about 70 going.
We're needing that to be a long and prosperous partnership.
We definitely are if we're going to win. And, there's just the reports of, Bangladesh. They've received a lot of rain, I think.
Yep.
So the pitch is just slowly sort of deteriorating around the Australians. So it's going to be a tough fight back, but at least if the Australians don't have to bowl for the next couple of days because it's the last innings, because they've lost Josh Hazlewood as well.
Yes, I saw this. So what's he done? Injured his side?
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
So he's got a side strain because obviously the action of the fast bowling. He must have, and this is what I think. It must be the fact he hasn't bowled for 6 months during this whole kind of pay dispute talk. He goes to the camp in Darwin, bowls every day, comes over to Bangladesh and is expected to bowl for a whole day.
Surely they've not just been on holidays, Lucy.
No, they have.
Surely he's been...
Steve Smith and all of them went overseas.
Actually,
and stuff.
True, they did go on a holiday.
Yeah, they all went on holidays. They're all sort of very rusty and you can tell
So you think legitimately this injury is a result of...
Well, look, I'm not going to say that it is the result of it. But I'd say that it'd be it's just when you come back from a sport and you're not used to it and you overexert yourself.
Yep.
That's what happens.
So there's an element of underprepared.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. And you can tell for Usman Khawaja especially that that's a factor as well.
Yeah, you're not impressed with him at the moment,
no,
are you?
I'm not. Because you can't run yourself out in the first innings, especially when you're batting number 3. You just can't do that. That is just a sign of just not good. And then I can't even think of the word. But then last night I was watching it and he just played a stupid shot, just tried to sweep the ball against the spin and just lobbed it up in the air for someone to catch.
Yep.
when he's on one run and after facing like 6 balls, like if the Aussies are on the ropes, you've come in at 3, it is your responsibility to make sure that we sort of anchor ourselves and we push ahead and, you know, keep it stable, keep the runs ticking over. You can't be playing stupid shots like that.
Yep,
and so he's also a product of that Australia A tour to South Africa. They got cancelled. So he could have benefited so much from going over there playing in in those games. Instead, that's been called off, and now he's in Bangladesh. Sort of, he's going to get dropped now. Like that's what I see for this.
So obviously, my question and a lot of other Australians' questions on the back of this would be, what does this mean for the Ashes? That's what I want to know. The Ashes. Does this mean we're less likely to win the Ashes?
Oh, it makes it puts a lot of fear, I think, into a lot of sort of Australians in considering like the Ashes, because oh god, like if this is how they want to play.
So can I just ask you, have Bangladesh never, you say they've won 9 of their 100 or whatever, has Bangladesh ever beaten Australia?
I'm not going to like definitely say no.
But if they have, it.
But I don't think they have. I don't think Australia's only been there twice.
Right.
To Bangladesh, because of security concerns.
Yep.
So this time, you know, they were meant to play a tour match in Bangladesh, but that got cancelled because of ground got flooded, I think, and they couldn't move the game because of security. It was like very sort of tight schedule kind of thing.
Yep.
So we've never been there before because of security concerns, and I think we've only played them twice, so they've never beaten us. So this would be massive for Bangladesh if they did.
Exactly. That's kind of the point of my question, that, like, this is huge if the Aussies don't come back, which they may, but it is an uphill battle.
Yeah.
You know, that's a steep hill.
It is an uphill battle.
It's a steep hill.
A very steep hill.
I don't want to be riding my bike up that hill. But, this is a big scalp for Bangladesh if they can pull this off. But B, not ideal when exactly in a couple of months we want to be playing some great cricket and winning the Ashes.
And the only thing about us playing the Ashes this year is, I suppose, the silver lining to this is that we are playing in Australia.
Yep.
And the Australian conditions obviously favour us heavily.
Yep.
And then also another silver lining is sort of England are very much under the pump at the moment against the West Indies. So
we're all in the same boat.
So we're all kind of in the same boat. So at least if both these countries are not doing the best, at least we know that we're kind of on equal footing at the moment. So and we're coming to Australia where the conditions favour us.
So what I'm hearing is the standard of cricket right now is not ideal.
Yeah.
Globally.
Not ideal. But you know, it's the Ashes, it'll be exciting, and it's day 4 today. Australia has to literally bat out the whole day.
Yeah.
I think they've got 221 runs to make. It's that uphill battle.
Well, but also, like, the current partnership of Steve Smith and Dave Warner, that is it is totally achievable for them. You know what they're capable of.
If they can get through the whole first session together, put on a partnership of like 100, then we're definitely more of a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
But Australia has been known for their collapsing the last few years.
Exactly, that's where we need... This is a trying time on the back of a trying few months. This is where you need your David Warner and your Steve Smiths to stand up.
So only time will tell. Day 4, I think, starts at around 2 p.m. today.
Yep.
And then maybe around 1 p.m. and then we'll go on till 9:30 tonight. It's on Foxtel if you would like to tune in. It could be exciting, but... Could be exciting. I know how people feel about Test cricket. I love it, but I know so many people are just like, oh, it's like watching grass grow and stuff like that. And it's like, it's exciting. I love it. So many twists and turns. It's like 8 hours of like just a great movie,
shots.
You know? Oh, all right.
No, I like cricket. I like cricket. No, it's good. Good on them. Let's hope they win. I'd much prefer to be talking about next week that they won rather than we lost to Bangladesh in a first ever.
So let's hope when we hit the sports desk on Friday, though, our Friday team will be talking about how well the Australians did. They got the comeback and they bought the first test home. But for now, we're going to go to a song, and when we come back, we're starting the AFL segment of our show, and we've done well to not talk about it until now.
Yes, we'll talk about it plenty.
We'll talk about it plenty. We're going to get the talk about the biggest AFL headlines in this bye week after the song. And then we have our interview with our special guest.
Ooh.
Who is Lily Mithen.
Lily Mithen.
Lily Mithen.
Everyone's favourite little footballer,
Yeah.
Lily Mithen. Can't wait to chat to her.
Can't wait to chat to Lily. But this is Courtney Barnett with Nobody Really Cares If You Don't Go to the Party.
That's quite a long title.
Long title. But a good fact about this song is it's a song that Paul Kelly, legendary Paul Kelly, said that he wished he had written. What a compliment.
That is a compliment.
That's a compliment. This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. That was Courtney Barnett with Nobody Really Cares If You Don't Go to the Party. Remember that, Mel.
Okay.
It's a title and also sound advice.
Wait, sorry, was it No One Really Cares If I Don't Go?
Yeah.
I'm offended. Thanks, Lucy.
That's all right.
Wow.
And
Jeez, just feel that jab straight in my guts.
straight in the guts.
Thank you.
Here's another one for you.
Yeah.
Will nobody really care if Rory Sloane doesn't play next Thursday?
No, everyone will care if Rory Sloane doesn't play.
Well, if you haven't heard, Rory Sloane, obviously Adelaide's star midfielder, sort of billed as the barometer of Adelaide's midfield. When he's firing, the whole team is firing, has been rushed to hospital for appendicitis.
Yes, bit of deja vu about this for Crows fans because we had Eddie Betts have a similar situation earlier this year, although Eddie Betts had ruptured, whereas Rory's had not. So it is a simpler procedure and the recovery time should be shorter. But yeah, obviously they've got a pretty important game next Thursday night. The bye week, you know, there are lovers and haters of the bye week, and I tell you what, everyone at Adelaide right now would be a lover of the bye.
Yeah, they're like, let's never get rid of the bye because we have now 8 days for Rory Sloane to recover from appendicitis surgery. So let's all pray. But hopefully he plays because, as I said, I think there'll be a lot of Crows fans that are a bit.
Would have been huge if there was no bye. Because he'd miss, and
he would miss, yeah.
I mean, luckily they've got the double chance, but still, that changes your run at the grand final.
At the grand final, yeah, exactly.
Do you think, simple yes or no, do you think he'll play next Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, there's no way that he'd miss it. They wouldn't let him miss it.
I think he wouldn't let himself miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But in other news...
But then, so it'll also be interesting to see if he has the same impact he usually does.
True.
You know, hopefully he is as good as he always is.
Oh, you'd think so.
Could be a bit rusty. I wouldn't be surprised.
But in other news, Nathan Buckley has been given a 2-year extension on his coach after months of speculation.
Yeah. It's kind of just
so,
like...
For so long, this just went on and on and on. And I was like, just let them play out the season. Just let them do it, and then we'll come back to it.
You feel sorry for him, don't you? Because you're just like, cool, so you had to endure that year.
Yeah.
And now we're just going to go around again.
And go, yeah, exactly.
Like as in, oh, sweet, keep your job, all good. Nothing to see here.
But
bye.
like, I'm glad they did it the first day the season was over. They were just like, let's get this over and done with.
Yep.
This is what's happening.
I agree, that was really good.
Which is good. And I personally think they've made the right decision.
So do I. And as they have said publicly, there needs to be other change around him and he needs to be well supported. So I think we're going to see some, you know, pretty big scalps in terms of senior assistant coaches and stuff around him. So watch this space there. There's still been chat of that mentor scenario that the Pies floated a lot. I find that interesting because if you actually strip it back, Nathan Buckley's been a senior coach for 7 years now. Or been a coach for 7 years now. Does he require a mentor?
I know, that's what I thought too. It's weird
He's
that
not
you're
a
giving
second-year
your
coach anymore.
That you're giving your head coach a mentor. Like, to me,
he's not new
yeah,
anymore.
exactly. It's a bit weird, but at the same time, if he's having the year if they want to keep him, and they clearly very much do want to keep him, then it also makes sense.
Yeah. So I think though, rather than a mentor, and I know it's a bit of semantics, but it makes a difference. I think he just needs a really good senior assistant coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a mentor that feels, you know, child-minding.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does.
He needs a good assistant coach.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
That's what we need.
So,
and a good list manager too, because they have a couple of things they need to change. They need a better forward line.
So it's going to be interesting to watch the changes that happen in their footy department, and then hopefully they can create, you know, a stable environment for once, because they have had so much change in that footy department. They've had, a handful of footy managers for over the past 2 years. So, that's not ideal to breed success. So, let's watch this space and hope that they can change it up well and then keep it that way for a while.
Yeah. And then the last big news item on the AFL sort of scope is the All-Australian squad has been announced. So the 40-member squad has been announced, and then the actual All-Australian team will be announced tonight at the Palais.
Tonight, yes, exciting.
Which is exciting. And everyone says the biggest omission is little Clayton Oliver from Melbourne Demons.
Yep, and I completely agree. He was my biggest omission, I thought. I think he'll win the D's best and fairest.
Oh, big call.
Do you disagree?
No, I think though, but like it's nice if a 20-year-old won it.
Yeah, it's awesome. But I do, if you actually take 5 seconds to think about it at the D's, yep, Clayton Oliver will probably win that. I just gave you 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So if he wins, I don't know how he hasn't made the 40-man squad.
Yeah.
And some players have snuck in there who I don't think were deserving. Perhaps a little bit harsh, but Marcus Bontempelli is in there, and his year
that's what I thought too.
Hasn't been. I mean, he is brilliant.
Yeah.
But this season, he hasn't been better than Clayton Oliver's season. That's for sure. Josh Kelly's in there. I feel a bit of like he's in there because he's Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
I wasn't
sold on it, kind of thing.
Yeah. And who else?
I know Nat Fyfe didn't have a really good year, but it's so weird to see that squad without
a Fyfe.
No,
but also Trent Cotchin.
That is a big one.
That's another big one. Didn't make the 40-man squad. I'm less...
I know when you kind of like tonight when they announced the team, you can kind of be like, oh yeah, like I get that. But when it's the whole squad, you're kind of like, oh, didn't even make
40
that cut.
feels like a lot of people. So, yeah.
It is. But we'll definitely get the Friday team to talk more about the selected All-Australian squad on Friday, because that's when the Friday show is. But we're going to go to a song now, so when we come back we can talk to our special guest, Lily Mithen, ahead of this week's State of Origin game. She will be, of course, representing Victoria.
The Big V.
The Big V. Not the first time for her, having come up through the youth ranks with Victoria, or Country Victoria.
Correct.
So see you around after this song, which is Romeo by Dorsal Fins, for our chat with Lily Mithen.